mountain in Maine right there. You guys got any crackers or anything?
Nah. Smile, Joe.
Do it again.
Hey everyone, this is Big Guy DIY, Robert, coming up with a little project I'm going to be working on over this year. Snowmobile season has just ended, but I'm always tinkering, always seeing if I can build something to make it work better, be a little more efficient, try to work smarter, not harder. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Look, next project. So as you all know, I have the GPS unit with a ram mount that mounts here off the windshield. It works fine. When you are flying though, bumpy trails, you can't really read that GPS unit, but that's okay. I'm not really looking at it as I'm going, but it definitely bounces around. So I found if I have it against my Zumo against the windscreen, it doesn't bounce as much. So what I'm thinking of is mounting it to the dash area. But the problem is Skidoo never made a glove box for this at all. All they made was a bag. And this is for the XR chassis. For the other chassis, it's different. So I'm experimenting here. I've gotten a couple of the Skidoo boxes here to see if I could retrofit something to work with this. So looking at this, comes out a little on the far side. It definitely loses a lot of space. Sorry about the reflection here. But it loses a lot of space back here. Like here's the back of the box. And then here's the windshield. So I'm losing a good 4 or 5 inches of space. Unfortunately, it's pretty sunny out and it's hard to see that. But you can see how much space I'm losing, even if I was able to get this to fit. The next one, because of the curve here, fits in all the way to the bottom of the windshield, which is nice. But you can see how far this sticks out. I mean, even if I do any cutting on the front of this, there's no way this is going to work out. But the shape is pretty doggone close to the windshield. So then I made one out of cardboard. This is kind of a mock-up. So I'm taking the bag as kind of an influence and see if I can increase the front space where a GPS unit could mount on the front of that. The cardboard one, again, it's not close enough to the windshield, so I have to work on that. So over the summer, I'm going to make something probably out of wood. And when you make stuff like this, I was thinking, after I make it out of wood, should I cover it with fiberglass and create a plug? There's two different things. There's a plug and then there's a mold. The difference between the two is a plug, like this, you would cover this with the fiberglass, or you'd cover this with a molded plastic. and make a GPS holder on with this, including a door. I'm going to fabricate a door to open up. A mold is something that's the shape of a plug, but you lay the fiberglass in a mold. On a plug, you cover it with the fiberglass. So that's the difference between a plug and a mold. Covering this with fiberglass, I've never done before, but I have a very good friend of mine who works with boats. He does all refurbishing and redoing of boats. Basically what you call in the automotive industry, like rotisserie restorations. He completely disassembles the boats, redoes the stringers, the hull, the transom, everything, and also redoes the interiors. So he's an expert on fiberglass work. So he can help me a lot if I choose to go to the fiberglass route. I'm going to be shopping around for plastic and see if I can find a way where I can take plastic, say like a 1/8 inch starboard, which is used in the marine industry, heat that up and mold it to the plug. Starboard is very pervious to the sun and salty elements, so it's a really good product to use, but I don't know how pliable it is. The plastic that's used on here is relatively on the thick side. It's 1/8 inch. So if I can find a plastic like this, I can easily heat this up with a heat gun and mold it to a plug. The trick will be creating this doorway to make it work. So I'll periodically, as I make this product, make this plug, I'll put a video up there showing you how I'm making this plug. So really, I think the next step is to take this wood plug, get it a little closer to the shape of the bag so I can get this further into the windshield. And then that way the face will come out to about here and it can hold the GPS unit there. The other thing I'm looking at is something called an Aqua Box by Ram. And they come in 3 sizes: small, medium, large. The large I'm waiting for. I ordered that back in mid-March, so it's been 3 weeks and I'm still waiting for it. That will hold a Garmin, a Zumo, and a Montana inside. And the whole objective here is not to have a sturdier mount, but also I had issues with my Zumo over this winter freezing up on me when I was sledding. When the temperatures got really cold, the Zumo would not respond to any touches on the screen. So the screen would freeze up and it would just stay in that position till I took it off and put it inside my coat, let it warm up. And then once I put it back on the sled again, it would freeze up on me again. And it was just useless from temperatures 10 below. Operating temperatures on a Zumo 665 are -4 Fahrenheit to 114 Fahrenheit. Don't quote me on the max temp. It'll never see that temp anyways, but I know it's -4. Montana has the same operating temperature of -4 to 114 Fahrenheit. The new Garmin Tread just came out this year. That's designed specifically for off-road UTVs, ATVs, and snowmobiles, and they're specifying snowmobiles. But it has the same operating temperatures as the Zumo and the Montana. I guess the screen on it is a little larger than it is on a Zumo, but its operating temperature is the problem. With an LCD screen, it gets cold enough that screen will freeze. So what I'm trying to do is I know I'm trying to build a glove box, but I'm trying to build a glove box where my unit can be enclosed in the sense that I can have some heat behind it to keep the screen from freezing, but still be able to view the unit. So This is a kind of a hybrid thing I'm building for this sled, because I'm hoping to do a saddle trip next season where we sled from one location to another, stay overnight, and then next morning get back on the sleds and sled to another location, stay overnight, and then reverse the process coming back to where we started, or doing one big enormous loop. I'd like to do that in Maine, but I don't know. I mean, that's depends on how we are with COVID at that time and where things are at. But setting my goal sights high. So that's the project I got for snowmobiling for over the winter. So stay tuned as I try to get these videos done. Parts and stuff have not been arriving as quickly as I'd like to, but just want to put this update out there so anyone who's watching on a regular basis. Thank you, Big Guy signing off, and we'll talk to you soon.